something tó jẹ́ pé ó wà kí n sọ pé in existence either a lè rí o àbí a lè rí so níwọ̀n bàgà tí ẹ̀rí ti wà àti ní àwọn nǹkan tá a fi lè rí so a ti lè gbàgbọ́ nìyẹn bọ̀ nǹkan ẹ máa gbọ́ ẹ wo atẹ́gùn tá à mí yẹ mo lè sọ fún yín pé ẹ lè sọ fún mi pé atẹ́gùn mò ń mí kí n sọ fún yín pé rọ́ so tó bá nǹkan tí mo tẹ́ ẹ̀ka lè sọ fún mi ni pé tó bá nígbàgbọ́ kí mo mi atẹ́gùn mo lè sọ fún yín pé láti prove ẹ̀ fún ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ tiẹ̀ mọ́nú ibì kan kátẹ́gùn kí n jẹ́ kátẹ́gùn fẹ́ wọlé síbẹ̀ so mo lè láti prove mi wrong pé nǹkan kan wà tó ń jẹ́ atẹ́gùn ṣe understand so there are some things that pé ẹ sì lè prove pé àní nǹkan yìí exist pẹ̀lú àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan tó máa jẹ́rìí ẹ̀ pé nǹkan yẹ ó exist ṣe understand nípa nǹkan yẹn lóòótọ́ o ẹ lè má fojú rí o ẹ lè má fi ti gbọ́ o ṣùgbọ́n tí tá bá ṣe nǹkan kan báyìí a mọ̀ pé ó exist àní kí la lè ṣe tá a fi lè mọ̀ pé Yahweh exist.
so nǹkan tí mo sọ fún yín ni fine very good question kí la lè ṣe tá a lè fi mọ̀ pé Yahweh exist but we also know that nǹkan ìmọ̀ tá a ti ní kéré jọjọ sí gbogbo ìmọ̀ tó wà ní mi ò sọ pé lágbàáyé tó wà ní tó yẹ ká mọ̀. Whatever the knowledge you have said we have now, because I'm okay. What about there could be frequency outside those frequencies that were measured, but because of lack of instruments to measure them in the first place. Ṣé yóò bá mi yé yín? Kò sáwọn which I call instrument. Mo máa tún sọ. Kò sáwọn èròjà tí mo pè ní instrument tá a lè fi ṣòdiwọ̀n àwọn nǹkan yẹn. Now, because one are visible to us does not mean they don't exist. Bá a lè fojú rí, a lè measure wọn, a lè yẹ̀ wọ́n wò. Kò mí pé wọn exist. I don't know the Yoruba for exist. Ṣé Yorùbá mi yé yín?
Adeleke, ṣé mo lè sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú.
Ó yá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. We're learning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ mo understand bẹ́ ṣe ń sọ nípa spectrum of light, the visible wave bands we can see, the infrared spectrum, àwọn ìta lè rí ìdí yàrá bẹ́ẹ̀. But nǹkan ibi tẹ́ wá ń gbé lọ sìn, the difference ìyàtọ̀ science àti religion tẹ́yìn sọ ni pé tí science bá rò pé nǹkan wà tí wọ́n lè prove, wọn ò ní máa sọ fún everybody pé kíní ìwà o ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbọ́ o kíní ìwà o tẹ́ ẹ bá gbàgbọ́ nǹkan máa ṣe yín nǹkan báyìí science ò ní sọ fún yín nìyẹn science kàn máa sọ pé in fact it spreads it into different things. Theory wà pé okay this is the theory of evolution. It means àmọ́ kíní yìí but ní evidence. But according to our thinking, according to this fact, according to this here and there, bá ṣe rò pé ó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ lélẹ̀, until they bring the proof of it that is irrefutable, it is still a theory, even if it makes sense. Tá bá ti wá rí, pé okay eléyìí ẹ lè báyàn jiyàn ẹ̀ mọ́, òun ló máa wá di fact. Fact nìkan ni scientists máa sọ fún yín pé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ believe. Tó bá ní theory, in fact, tẹ́ bá ṣe nǹkan sìn as a scientist, if you do a practical, if you do a test, and you can only replicate that test once. Bí pé kéèyàn ṣe nǹkan sìn kó dẹ̀ gbókù jíjẹ dé for example. Tẹ́ bá ṣe kíní yẹn, tẹ́ bá lè ṣe mọ́ lẹ́lẹ́kejì, or tẹ́ bá lè ṣe tó yẹ pé ẹlòmíì máa someone else will repracticalize that same thing.
It cannot be repeated or replicated.
It cannot be replicated. It is still considered a fluke. Do you understand? The difference science àti religion ni pé science ò ní wá sọ fún yín pé okay o kíní yìí o ẹ̀yin tí religion bá máa sọ fún wa sí ó máa ní Jésù jí òkú dìde, Jesus rose after 7 days, ìdíyàdà donkey sọ fún Paul pé kó má pa àwọn Christian mọ́. Tá bá wá sọ fún yín pé okay ẹgbẹ́ kíní jáde ewúrẹ́ lélẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀, òkú lélẹ̀ ẹ jí dìde níwájú wa, ẹ̀yin ò ní lè ṣe but ẹ sì máa fẹ́ kí everybody believe yín bíi pé ẹ ti ṣe lójú wa. Okay ẹ tún ṣe ẹ máa ní torí pé there is a part of the Bible that says they will be asking for signs and wonders. Báwo la ṣe ní béèrè fún signs and wonders? Because if religion comes now tí Christian bá wá tó bá sọ pé okay o fact lélẹ̀ ká believe ẹ̀, kí Muslim wa kó sọ pé fact lélẹ̀ ká believe ẹ̀. Méjèèjì ò provide the irrefutable evidence, but gbogbo wa ń sọ fún wa pé ẹ believe eléyìí. So nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń sọ bóyá gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ mo kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ yín, but ìgbà tẹ́ tún wá ń gbé lọ sí fact, because fact prove a lot of things in the Bible, ó ti prove it wrong. Nǹkan táwọn religious people máa ń ṣe tó máa ń dùn èmi ni pé tó bá wà convenient.
A lot of things in the wrong in the Bible. Go on. Mo fẹ́ mọ̀ pé bóyá mo gbọ́.
Sin gan wrong now. Àti debunk sin yín nísìnyí.
Ṣé Bible tó sọ pé ilé ayé ní foundation? Foundation ilé ayé dà tó sọ pé 4 corners of the earth dà. In fact, ẹ má jà lọ sí yẹn torí if you want to go into the things.
Okay, because he said he heard the wind abi 4 corners. What I mean by 4 corners? Let me not even preempt you.
Do you want us to go into the things that are scientifically wrong in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you want us to go into that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me a second. Let me. Okay. Let's even start with the talking animals. Àwọn animals tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nínú Bible. Are you telling me as an adult now that those things really happened according to science that you are telling us?
Spoke in the Bible, sir? Let's take it from kindergarten level. How many animals spoke in the Bible?
Let's start with the donkey that spoke to Paul. Nígbà tí Paul fẹ́ lọ máa persecute àwọn Christian tí kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ yẹn bá sọ.
Bible supersedes science.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
The other man was talking, that's why I missed.
Sorry, I agree. Mo kí gbogbo ilé o.
Ẹjọ́ tó wá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ indicate in comment section.
Okay.
Bọ́ ẹ lè sọ̀rọ̀.
Okay.
So, ẹgbẹ́ tí mo sọ̀rọ̀, kò ṣe Paul, pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ Paul kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀, bàbá Niger.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí ó pick ẹ̀ jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀, bọ̀ anybody wá fẹ́ padà sọ̀rọ̀ náà ṣe indicate in comment section. Bàbá Àṣọ̀rìṣà kí yẹn káàbọ̀.
Okay, ẹ ṣé. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ ni pé Bíbélì, ọ̀rọ̀ Bíbélì, àwọn nǹkan tó wà ní science ó wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn nǹkan tó ju science lọ ó wà ń bẹ̀. For example, healing, kí èèyàn máa heal, ẹni tí ó ti fọ́jú kó máa ríran. So nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sáré drop nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣé. So bàbá Naija ẹ sọ̀rọ̀, èmi ti debunk concept of sin pẹ̀lú ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi. So lẹ́yìn tá bá lè mú.
You didn't debunk anything, please don't.
Mo ti debunk lẹ́rìí tẹ́lẹ̀ fi prove.
Ẹni sùúrù mi ò ní prove. You were dancing around and I was laughing at you and you said you have debunked.
Wait, sorry.
You were even talking that there was nothing like anarchy. And then you think you are talking wisdom? Can you please not repeat that you debunk? Because you were talking anarchy. You know, I had to ask you, do you know what is called anarchy?
Define it pé kó má sí òfin lórílẹ̀ káwọn èèyàn kàn máa ṣe bó bá ṣe wù wọ́n. Àbí ìbí nǹkan tẹ́ pè nìyẹn.
That means now you have debunked sin lójú ààrẹ. Are you serious?
A ti debunk sin látẹ̀kan. Ẹ sọ pé a ti ṣẹ̀. Mo ní ọ̀nà owó lágbà ẹ máa gbọ́. Ààrí ẹ̀rí wípé nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ pé à ń ṣe àgbèrè, à ń fi ètùtù, à ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan yẹn. Ààrí evidence wípé gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yẹn ó ń affect living wa. Ṣé understand? Kò affect living wa.
Can you imagine? Kò affect living wa. Are you reasoning, please?
Ẹ máa gbọ́, mo ti ṣàlàyé gbogbo nǹkan yẹn látẹ̀kan náà.
Adeleke, are you wiser than every country? I have said it before, pé gbogbo country ló ní òfin. So you
Sọ́lọ̀ ló ṣòfin.
Just a minute. You see where you turn it. Are you wiser? This is my simple question. I am Adeleke. Ṣé o gbọ́n ju gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè?
Let me answer that. Yes.
If you didn't say you have debunked, I will not. I was interested in what Niger is saying is going scientific. But now you give yourself an undeserved victory.
And I think just debunk it together.
I
Listen
don't
now.
debunk anything. I just keep meat for you because I want to be gentle. But now you are giving yourself victim.
Ó yá ẹ parí pẹ̀lú Niger. Èmi àti yín sì jọ wà
Please,
láàrin lálẹ́. Mi ò
please
tí ì
don't
sùn.
give yourself that accolade. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, mo fi
A máa padà síbẹ̀ kò sí wàhálà. Á
because
tún
now
gbé.
tí n bá lọ sí ọmọ ẹ̀yìn Kristi
À
wà
á invite yín tẹ́ bá lọ á máa rí yín.
Bàbá mi Adeleke, ìbá ní
Mo gbádùn àṣírí
ta ló
ẹ fún
mú
wọn lẹ̀.
tìmí ní sọ̀rọ̀? Ta ló ìbá ní kẹjá yanjú
àṣẹ
ọ̀kan
òrìṣà
ká
ẹ
tó
fi
ṣe
wọ́n
nǹkan?
lẹ̀ jẹ́ kó máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ẹ fi wọ́n lẹ̀.
Ẹ ní sùúrù náà, ẹ̀mí kó ta fẹ́ sọ. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Adeleke géèjì ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi pẹ̀lú kan yẹn. Ìyẹn wà
Ẹ jẹ́ kí Niger báwọn sọ̀rọ̀.
Let's finish with
Ẹ jẹ́ kí Niger sọ̀rọ̀. Àwa náà ti ń sọ tipẹ́tipẹ́. Àwọn èèyàn náà sì wà lórí òkè.
Yeah, are you there? Najaka.
Tí Niger bá wà bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀.
mi ò mọ̀ pé mo ti mute mo ń gbọ́ yín mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ mi ò mọ̀ pé mo wà ní mute.
Èmi náà ti mute o, so kẹ́yìn náà enjoy o.
Okay, so earlier ẹ sọ pé kò sí scientific inaccuracies nínú Bible, then we just
That was where
delete.
we stopped. That was where you stopped. And I said, now give me, you said animals spoke in the Bible, right?
Yes.
I'm not denying that fact. But I now asked you to give me the animals that spoke in the Bible. And your information was inaccurate.
So are you saying no animal spoke in the Bible,
No,
or I got the
no,
animal
I
wrong?
have said it that I didn't say there was no animal that spoke in the Bible. I said I wanted to push you so that you reason this thing by yourself. And I
kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ náà.
kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nínú Bíbélì. But he said pause kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́. Is that what you said, Naija?
No, sorry. Okay, I was wrong about that. It's the donkey of Balaam, abi Kilongpe, Balaam, abi.
Balaam.
Yeah.
Information before you go into argument next time. Kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ Balaam sọ̀rọ̀.
Yeah.
Now, then you ask yourself, who was Balaam? I'm pushing you to a thought, and that's what I want to do. Because the Bible says,
ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi. Baba
I'm
Ogun,
pushing him to this. Baba
ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi, it's not you pushing him to this thing. Nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ jọ yànnà nọ́mbẹ̀ yẹn ni pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ tó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn nìkan lẹ fẹ́ yọ. Pé ṣó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ní real life ń sìn scientifically.
You need to know the person. Tí n bá sọ pé
Ready àti mọ ènìyàn.
manipulation to know the person. If you are not ready to know the person, then you will not know how he spoke. But if you know the person, you will know why and how he spoke.
That is not necessary for the conversation now. Ọmọlẹ́yìn
It is
Kristi,
very
why
necessary.
don't you
You can the
Okay.
kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ that spoke.
I admit I was wrong to say it was
No.
Paul's
Emeti
donkey.
overlooking it, understand. I was now pushing you and everyone here to see certain things. You don't know the fact. So it's more challenging. I can easily win you with cheap points. Because
You're deviating from the fact.
I'm not debating from the fact.
A donkey is sorrow. You've not. The point is that an animal spoke. The point is not who the animal spoke to.
No.
Tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tá à ń sọ nísìnyí ni pé,
Who
okay
is
o.
the owner of the? Why did he speak? You have to. Nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ when you
Okay, ẹ̀yin sọ fún wa, why did it speak? And how is that relevant to the fact that a donkey spoke?
I was because only two places, if you talk about animals speaking in the Bible, only
The
two.
serpent,
The
yes.
serpent and the
donkey.
yes. And then we'll take these two cases and see why it is justifiable or why it's incredible or credible. Tell me, Baba mi Naija.
Okay,
Videos.
mo gbọ́ yín.
So, say, are we together?
Máa bọ́ lẹ́sìn ṣé mo ti ṣe kíní yẹn ṣó ti rí?
Only mo fi ní,
Okay. Èyí máa bọ́ lẹ́sìn. Nǹkan tí màá ní sọ ń run èmi inú.
Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kí inú yẹn wò sàn o. Are we together, gentlemen?
Àfọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi náà, ẹ continue wa together.
Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kí inú yẹn wò sàn. Sometimes when people think they are wise, you show them, okay, this is how we can also be. So, nǹkan tí mò ń sọ lọ, number one, we have said that a ní láti mọ ta ni Bálámù. Because wọ́n sọ pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ Mósè, wọ́n sọ pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ Jésù, wọ́n sọ pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ Paul. That was the mistake you made earlier. You said Paul.
ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi mọ̀ pé ìpìlẹ̀ ṣe ń sìn wọn and it's not right. Kò ní dá ká ṣí platform. ká máa fúnra wa lépè àbí ká
Mo
máa
sọ pé
búra
nǹkan
wa.
tí mo sọ ń dùn òun nínú, you think I was going to take it with levity?
Bí àwọn ló
ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ
àwọn
má
ló ní
bínú
kíní
ẹ
náà.
má jẹ́ kó sidetrack
If
pẹ̀lú
he
mi.
didn't say it, I wouldn't have
Excuse
responded
wait
to him.
um,
It's an insult to me, and
ọmọlẹ́yìn
I give him
Kristi
the right answer for this.
ẹ má bínú ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi, let me apologize on his behalf. Me, I want you to get to the point where you tell us why the donkey spoke or
Fine,
whether
fine.
you would
I
say.
am calm. You know, I didn't insult you, Baba Naija.
I
Even when I
understand, sir.
know you
That's why
get
I
what you
apologized
for me,
on
I
his
said, okay,
behalf.
go and say it politely. You don't have information about, so it's easy for me to defeat you. And I didn't utter insult to you, did I? But when people think they can insult, you don't even know me as a person. You don't know me as a person, okay? And anyway, let's continue. Let's assume that never happened. I gave him the response he deserved, so let's assume that never happened. Thank you for apologizing on his behalf. Now, Kete Balaam ló sọ̀rọ̀. So we now look at who is Balaam. Balaam was a spiritual person. If you like, you can term it anyway. And I mean no insult to everybody calling themselves spiritual. He was somebody who can conjure, okay? And that's why he was hired by Balak. So he has some power, extra physical power. That's how I'll call it. Power that are beyond the physical, okay? And that's why I could this. And it's not a repeated thing. Oh, so donkeys talk like we have it in this. That thing spoke only once after his frustration. And he has said, oh, I saw an angel the first time. I saw an angel the second time. And I dodged. And then why are you being this? Have I been practicing this with you? But we know Balaam himself. At that point, also, I want to go back. He could conjure. Balaam could conjure. And evidence me also. If you know that story, you will agree with me. Balaam could
You know all these things you are saying.
Yes, sir.
Nobody is disagreeing with the story, the
when we
context, and
said
everything.
the donkey spoke, and then
Okay.
donkey spoke to him, it's part of conjure about English.
So
Part of
the
his
point,
spiritual power.
Egbon, Emma worry why the donkey spoke. Emma worry in Koto Sofun.
It makes
The
sense
point
because
is,
I am
did the
saying
donkey
that is where
speak or
you are
not?
saying that I shouldn't worry about the circumstance. And I'm worried about the circumstance because it makes sense to me that the donkey spoke.
And that is what I want to hear.
Now, if you don't allow me land, that means you are not ready to learn. You are just saying no.
All right, go on. I'll
I
mute.
should
I'm
not
sorry.
take it away from you. And I have understood you. I'm not unreasonable person. Teba so for me saying your donkey spoke. I will look at you again now. I'm reasonable. Now, Motisokwe is an isolation case, and I'm trying to define who Balaam was. Balaam could conjure, if you want it. I said Balaam is person that could conjure. He has extra physical power, and that's why look at his details, and we can trace him. So it was a peculiar person that could read this. He could speak with angels, he could conjure, he could see vision, he could divinate, and so on and so forth. Then we can move on from there.
Okay. For the sake of this argument, let's say I agree with you that it can define, it can do definitions, yada. I agree. Then what is the point? What's the law?
Ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi ti lọ ni.
It's
Ó rà pé
unfortunate.
network ló drop wọn.
Nǹkan tó ń ṣe yìí is the same thing pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó máa ń ṣe táwọn Muslims máa ń ṣe lórí other program yìí náà. 1 minute wọ́n máa sọ pé nǹkan ò ṣẹlẹ̀, then you bring out
No,
this
ọmọlẹ́yìn
same.
Kristi.
Ẹ wo ọmọ
Ẹni sùúrù.
OBKM náà wà ń bẹ̀ o. Christian náà ló
Ọmọlẹ́yìn
náà o.
Kristi kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ṣé network ni?
Network ló máa jẹ́.
Network ló
wọ́n
máa
ní
ń
kò
gbé
sí wọ́n ní
kí
kò
n má
sí
bàa
nǹkan
sọ
tó
bẹ́ẹ̀.
wà nínú Bible tí ò wà scientifically
Ọmọlẹ́yìn
Mo
Kristi
jára
kí
mi
ló
bọ́
ṣẹlẹ̀?
ni, mo jára mi bọ́ ni, nǹkan tí ẹ má bínú. So mo jára mi bọ́ ni. I wanted to press on mute, then I pressed the wrong button, and then mo jára mi bọ́. Sorry, my
Abẹ́sáré
error.
lọ gbẹ́nu
Okay.
sí kínní.
Mo gbẹ́nu sí kinní kan. Mo sáré
Ẹjẹ́ sì
lọ
lọ
ṣe
ra
bí
ọmọ yín
Bálámù ni.
màsìkéré ọmọ kékeré láti ń gbọ́ lọ́wọ́ yín tẹ sáyẹ̀ lọ́n ti kínní. Ẹnu yín ti mú.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà. Kí wọ́n sọ pé Christian ò kí ń dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Mi sọ pé ẹ̀kíní ọmọ yín sì kéré lásán.
Ó ti tó gbàgbúrò sà. Hello, Baba mi mo kí yín dáadáa, sir. So sorry, it was my error. Pé ó jábọ́. It's enough now. So èèyàn tí Bálámù jẹ́ ló jẹ́ kí kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ lè bá sọ̀rọ̀. He can see beyond the physical. Does that make any sense? Not only to Nigeria, but to everybody, Ejo.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sir?
Makes
No,
sense.
you are also a Christian.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense
Because
spiritually
you're a special
because
person.
Yeah, it makes
Yes.
sense. Makes sense.
Ṣeré tí ó bá make sense, màá tún try láti define it.
bàdá nàìjà yín la fi máìkì sílẹ̀ fún ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yin gbogbo lé mute fún ẹ bá wọn sọ nǹkan tẹ́ bá wọn ń pò lọ tí kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ bálámù bá lè sọ̀rọ̀ torí pé bálámù lágbára ejò tó sọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan ta lónìí.
Very good. That's the second one. Tá bá ti gba alákọ̀ọ́kọ́, we can look at the second
àti
one.
gbà ṣá lè prove ẹ ní
Okay,
real life nǹkan tí bọ̀dà Niger fẹ́ gbé jáde ni.
Sọ pé ẹ ti lè gbà.
Ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi ṣe mọ̀ pé nǹkan tí bàbá Niger fẹ́ mú jáde ní gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ni wípé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tẹ ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú báìbù yẹn kò ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ nílé ayé lénìí àbí sáyẹ̀nsì gan ti wọ́gi lé gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn.
Ṣé ẹ̀yà mi you are here pé à ń bọ̀ láti pé ẹ̀kan ní donkey sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kan dẹ̀ ní ejò sọ̀rọ̀ nínú Bíbélì. So as wọ́n kó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ayé.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ ní sùúrù. Àwọn nǹkan, there are some things that don't need to happen twice. For instance, tí bá sọ fún yín nísìnyí pé gbogbo ilé tó wà nílé ayé, all the houses in the world or gbogbo structure pé wọ́n kọ̀ uproot ara wọn, gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ fò lọ sókè, wọ́n dẹ̀ padà, wọ́n dẹ̀ settle padà. Bó dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ǹkan kò tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ látìgbà yẹn. Ṣó má tà bóyá ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ látìgbà yẹn àbí kò tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀ àbí ṣẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá gbọ́ ṣé máa rò pé ṣé kí ni make sense? Even tó bá sọ fún yín pé nǹkan ló ṣẹlẹ̀ o, ṣó make sense? Òun ni mo ṣe ń sọ fún yín, the context doesn't matter. The reason why Balaam's horse spoke doesn't matter. Nǹkan tó sọ kò matter. The point is, ṣó sọ̀rọ̀? Yes, agree kò sọ̀rọ̀. And according to you, any nǹkan tí ó wà scientifically impossible kò sí nínú Bible. So èmi ń sọ fún yín, mo tún béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín again nísìnyí pé ṣé ó wà scientifically possible fún kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ àti sọ̀rọ̀ àbó wà spiritually possible?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. I'm very sorry. Don't consider it rudeness.
No, go on, please.
Now, thank you. Our major whole conversation. Now, you said that nǹkan tí ó wà scientific. Is it possible? Angel, maybe you believe it or not. Can science measure angel or appearance of angel or tell about angel, sir? Then we'll come back to the circumstance around
science ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ pa angel because angels are mythical creators.
Science to talk about, and that's why I'm saying this person who saw angel, Balaam also saw angel. The same point where the donkey spoke.
But wait, that means ẹ̀yin lè máa wá correct ara yín sìn pé some things are spiritually or religiously possible but scientifically impossible. So you need to separate the two. Okay, nǹkan lè possible ní spiritual tí ò dẹ̀ ní possible ní science.
Thank you so much, sir. Your own mission was to say Bible was scientifically wrong. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. My own mission is to defend the Bible. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, there are assumptions here. Our assumptions is that one, that we both agree that there are certain measures that science cannot measure. Is that correct? Did we make that assumption, sir?
Yes, at the moment, yes.
Good. Now, one of those on that singular assumption, I said, okay, science cannot measure angel. And you agree to that, I'm sure. Is that right?
No, I don't agree to that. Because again, any suru, there are some things that how do I explain this? Báwo ni science ṣe fẹ́ measure angel? There are some things that are possible.
That is the circumstance in which the donkey spoke.
Okay, any suru, ṣé circumstance wà ní future tó yẹ pé science máa lè measure angel? Is that going to happen in future?
That's not my trouble. It's not my headache. I will talk about today's science knowledge. It's not my headache if tomorrow science can measure angel, but as it is today, and we have to
Then
argue
going
on
by
faith
this
and
same
science.
logic that we are
Yes.
bothered about today, you should not be worried about the donkey that spoke.
I
We
am
don't
not
know
worried
that
about it's you
3,000
that
years
say
ago.
no, I'm not worried about the donkey that spoke, but you said no.
But you're
It's
defending the
not
donkey.
commonsensical. Now, excuse me, sir. You said it's not commonsensical for donkeys to speak. And then because I believe donkey spoke, you think I am stupid. And I'm saying this is the circumstances for which I believe. I agree with all the science as much as you do. I hope you are not going to also put coffee now. And I hope I'm in conversation with you, sir. Check me, sir. So we both agree that there are circumstances to which these events happen. Okay? There are circumstances to which these events happen. But I believe in science as much as you do. And I'm saying in the circumstances in which these events happen, there is also an angel. That means this occurrence is a supernatural occurrence which cannot be measured by science. So you can't say I don't have common sense for believing this donkey spoke. Are we together, please?
Baba, no, I move say another side.
Okay.
Àwọn èèyàn tó ń gbọ́ wa máa.
ṣé wọ́n ti yanjú tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀ yẹ.
Wọ́n ò tí ì yanjú o. Wọ́n ò lè rí yanjú.
Wọ́n ní láti agree o ẹ yanjú ẹ̀ kíá o àgbọ̀ yín mọ́ nàìjíríà kà ló.
Adam and Eve tán ló bí wa náà, ó yẹ prove ẹ̀ scientifically. Báwo ló ṣe lè bí wa?
Wọ́n fẹ́ prove science. Wọ́n fẹ́ fi science
No, you
prove
are not
religion.
asking me
Kò
to prove
possible.
science by donkey. You are saying it's not your goal is you are saying it's not commonsensical for me to believe donkey spoke. That's your goal.
But ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi
And
ṣé
my
a
own
lè
is
agree ní pé a lè lo common sense bá ti di time religion.
Religion, exactly.
No. Ẹni sùúrù sà. Ẹni sọ̀rọ̀. Nǹkan tí mo sọ pé àwọn ń sọ ni pé àwọn sọ pé ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi ò gbàgbọ́ nínú Bíbélì tó sọ pé donkey sọ̀rọ̀. Mo dẹ̀ ní mo gbàgbọ́ nínú ẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ ní mo gbàgbọ́ nínú donkey nínú nǹkan tí Bíbélì sọ pé donkey sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣé àwọn dẹ̀ sọ pé ṣé o dẹ̀ rò pé ọpọlọ ẹ pé let me speak it my own way now. O rò pé ọpọlọ ẹ pé tó dẹ̀ gbàgbọ́ pé donkey sọ̀rọ̀. At least with the little science, I'm not saying more science, with this little science experience you know, do you think a donkey can speak? And now say, okay, let's look at the circumstances around it. That this is a supernatural circumstance in which an angel was involved when that donkey spoke. So that means we cannot judge it by physical measurements. So it's commonsensical for me on that premise. But now he lost his weight of argument and he doesn't know where to hide to.
No. There is no loss of any suru. Omolẹ́yìn, let me even speak now. You see, there are some things that, okay, for instance, any common sense ni. Tí èèyàn bá wá sílé yín lọ́la tó bá sọ fún yín pé bí mo ṣe ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín sìn o, mo rí kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ kan, ó dẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé tí n bá wá sílé yín ọ̀nàkọ́nà tẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ fi tẹ́lẹ̀ fi wówó ni kẹ́ wówó ẹ dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ mú 5 million naira ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ kó 5 million naira lé mi lọ́wọ́ kí n fi gbogbo nǹkan tó wà ní ilé ayé mi búra kí n fi àwọn òbí mi búra kí n fi ọmọ kí n fi gbogbo ẹ̀ búra kí n sọ pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ yẹn sọ fún mi bẹ́ẹ̀ pé tẹ́ bá fún mi lówó yẹn nǹkan burúkú máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé tẹ́ bá gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn.
Mi ò lè gbà yín gbọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ká pọ̀ǹdọ̀ pẹ̀lú.
Any sùúrù, that's where common sense is. Common sense lies in the ability to listen to something and decide if this thing makes sense or not. The reason any sùúrù, mo ma mute mic mi. Na any sùúrù. The reason why you believe a donkey spoke and someone heard it is because of the religious context in which it is. Tó bá wà nínú ìwé àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn míì pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ tí ò sí nínú ìwé tí yín ẹ ní believe ẹ máa sọ pé àwọn people yóò gbọ́n ẹ máa sọ pé dẹ̀ ni wọ́n pé báwo ni kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ bó torí pé ó wà nínú ìwé tí yín ẹ dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ believe gbogbo nǹkan tó wà nínú ìwé tí yín òun lẹ ṣe believe pé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ yẹn sọ̀rọ̀. If you talk of common sense doesn't need to say Christian ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí so ó lè make sense. Common sense mean pé it's common to everybody. Tẹ́ bá sọ kíní yìí fún Christian ó máa believe. Tẹ́ bá sọ kíní yìí fún Muslim ó máa believe. Tẹ́ bá sọ kíní yìí fún anybody tí ó believe nínú Christian àti Muslim ó máa believe because it is a common sense. But ibi tí religion ti máa wá wọ̀ ni pé tẹ́ bá sọ pé tẹ bá sọ fún muslim nísìn pé muslim máa sọ pé Muhammad pé eṣinṣin ò bá pé bó ṣe respect ẹ tó nìyẹn pé eṣinṣin gan kò ẹ̀fọn òge jẹ kíní muslim nìkan ló máa believe kíní yẹn. Jesus nísìn wọ́n ní Jésù kú ó kú fọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta ó dìde lọ́jọ́ kẹta muslim ò believe ìyẹn torí kò make sense sí àwọn.
ẹ jẹ́ ká sì lọ sí donkey ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa I don't like it when people just go around parabolating sir. ẹ jẹ́ ká dó sórí donkey yẹn. I have established that one, the person that he spoke with have some power other than the physical. And most persons in Yoruba land will know that certain people can conjure with spirits.
You know, our Yoruba people mọ àwa máa ń prove nǹkan ni láti mọ̀ ká lè prove ẹ̀ fún wa bẹ́yìn ṣe ń jẹ́ followers àgbà.
Èmi ò mọ̀ pé ẹ máa ń prove ẹ̀ ni.
Àwa máa ń prove ẹ̀ ni. So tí láti mọ̀ ká lè prove ẹ̀ fún wa àwa Yorùbá ò sí pẹ̀lú yín o àmọ́ wa àgbà o.
Okay, mo ti gbọ́ yín.
Lẹ́yìn kẹ́yìn náà wá kẹ́ mú kinní yẹn jáde nínú Bíbélì kẹ̀sì àní dọ́ńkì náà àbí èbí dọ́ńkì ni ṣé kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ ni dọ́ńkì?
Kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ ni.
Mo ní kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́ méjì kan Nàìjíríà báyìí. Bí a lè lọ́dọ̀ lọ́la kẹ́ ní kó sọ̀rọ̀ ká kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ jọ ẹ̀ fún wa.
Kó tiẹ̀ sọ pé bó jẹ́ ṣe wọ́n Nàìjíríà àbí bó jẹ́ ṣe pọ̀.
ṣé mo lè dá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn díẹ̀?
Bàbá ẹ dá sọ̀rọ̀.
Ìdí tí mo lè fi faramọ́ kìíní yẹn sí ẹ̀ ni wípé ní olden days nígbà tí ayé sì ṣe tẹ́ bá wo àwọn Yorùbá àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan náà máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ìtàn kan wá ní ẹranko ṣètò sọ̀sọ̀ kan báyìí sọ́mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ bá wo títí wá ẹ rí wípé nígbà míì òwe náà fi pa tó ti yẹ yín but nínú Bible wọ́n ló ṣẹlẹ̀ pé ó for real but tá a bá ní ká gbé sọ́pọlọ tá a bá wo àwọn donkey kò possible fún ajá donkey gan láti sọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ spiritual ẹgbẹ́ lọ́sìn torí physical ẹ̀ ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sìn but lọ́dọ̀ tiwa most of the things tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ rí i pé àwọn tó máa ń kí nǹkan bóyá ń kí gbá ń kí nǹkan wo wọ́n á kì í lọ sí nǹkan tí ojú àwa ọmọ ẹ̀dá ò tó ni ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tẹ̀yìn sọ fún wa ní Bíbélì pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lójú èèyàn ni nǹkan tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni pé àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe tó bá jẹ́ kan fact ni